April the 14th, 2020. This was the last time Overwatch had a new hero. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. In this video, we're going to discuss why Overwatch doesn't have any new heroes and why Overwatch probably won't be getting any new heroes, and just some of the reasons behind this, because I think it's very easy to point the finger and just blame the Overwatch team and go, oh my god guys, where are the new heroes? But there are some realities I think we all need to be aware of. So I'm going to break these down in the video. But let's begin with this. Jeff has said Echo is the final hero. Everybody knows this. If you're a fan of Overwatch, you know this to be true. There are no new heroes coming to Overwatch. And this really did kind of disappoint us at the time. However, remember we were told this back at the start of 2020. And we were all hoping that, oh, well, Overwatch 2 is probably going to come out towards the end of the year and everything will be fine. We now, though, know that Overwatch 2 isn't coming out this year. So there's no Overwatch 2 in 2021. We hope there'll be Overwatch 2 in 2022, because if not, well, then things are going to really start getting a bit dicey. Heroes are the lifeblood of Overwatch, and I cannot for the life of me believe for 1 second that anybody on the development team is happy through not releasing heroes into the game or releasing major content. But I want to focus on heroes in this video, because arguably heroes are the main major content for Overwatch. This is what players want to see: heroes, right? New heroes bring people to the game. They bring people back to the game. They change the meta. They have a big impact on the game. So I can't for the life of me believe that the developers are fine with what's going on. This is why I'm sort of leaning towards this is definitely a management level decision. And what I mean by that is a decision made by the higher ups in Activision Blizzard. These are the people that are concerned with money. These are the people that are concerned with making profit, and rightfully so. It's a business. We have to be realistic here. Overwatch is a game that we paid once for, and we got a bunch of content added to it, and then the content dried up. Now, there's a few distinctions here to make with Overwatch. It's not a free-to-play game. It has a loot box store system. These are not great in this day and age, but they did sell the game for a full box price, and they made a ton of money doing that. But this is where it becomes difficult. Overwatch doesn't make money. Overwatch now sits there with its sales. I mean, arguably, when you buy Overwatch now, if you were to buy it new, you can get it super cheap, so it's not really making that much money. And when was the last time you bought loot boxes? That's the ultimate question. I compare this to my situation playing Apex Legends. Now, okay, it's not great Apex Legends, but I've spent more money on Apex is a great game. I mean, their monetization system can be questionable at times. The quality of their skins can be lackluster. There's a whole host of other issues. But I've spent more money in that game than I have in Overwatch. And it's because it's a more modern monetization system. It's luring me into buying the Battle Pass. Overwatch doesn't have that. Maybe Overwatch 2 will have that. The point I'm trying to make here, guys, is it comes down to money. So check this out. This is the Activision Blizzard stock ticker. What this basically shows you is how much the company is effectively worth. And as of right now, it is $97 per share. If we go back to the start of the year, if you guys look at the very bottom of the graph, you can see it's just above 60. So it's around $63, $65. So in a year, they've managed to increase the value by some $30 per share. Now, that's a lot of money. This means Blizzard's market cap, the value of the company has gone up a lot. Now, what are things that can affect this? Well, you guys remember a certain absolutely terrible BlizzCon that was held? Their share price absolutely tanked. I mean, look at this graph here. You can see where the share price tanked. This was directly after a BlizzCon. It was disastrous. When they announce new games, when they announce new major content, it affects the share price. The share price is what the upper management are concerned with. What could you do right now to Overwatch to affect the share price? Adding a new hero into the game wouldn't actually do that. Releasing a sequel would do that, because it's a new game. You've got all the new sales coming in. You'd have hopefully a new store system, loads of stuff coming into the game. That is the main driver here. And I think it's quite clear when you start looking at stuff from almost like a business management kind of point of view. If we go back to 2016, 2017, and even early 2018, you could argue these are the glory years of Overwatch. The game was on top of the world, especially in 2016 and early 2017 before Fortnite came out. The game was it was massive. What I don't understand is, and I'd really like this to be explained to me, is why, when they could see the game was really popular, didn't they then suddenly start increasing the size of the development team? Now, I know that's not a simple thing. It's not as simple as just hiring developers. You have to find the right ones. You have to have good direction from the leads within the studio. There's loads of elements to it. Why wasn't it increased in size? Why wasn't it the decision made at that point, okay, we're making Overwatch 2, but we still need to make loads of new great content for Overwatch. Let's start growing. Let's start getting bigger. Let's really start pumping out this content. That may have countered the situation we find ourselves in now, where we've very clearly got the lead of the development team, Jeff, telling us that, hey, Overwatch 2 is our main focus. And that is totally fine. But imagine if you had a bigger team. Imagine if you had more developers. Imagine if there was still content coming into Overwatch and there wasn't the drought that we've, had for pretty much 3 years of mainline content. I know we've had some new heroes, some new maps and things like that. But think what they could have been doing if they were really pumping content into the game. It would keep the game alive. Now, I think what's going on is there is a gamble that's being made within Blizzard. And it's this. They are hoping that Overwatch 2 will be the re-injection that is needed to propel the game back to the heights it was at. Will that work? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I think one thing's for certain, the game will be a good game. I can't wait to play PvE. I think PvE is super good. Like, I'm really enjoying playing the archives. I know it's recycled content, whatever. It's simply because I haven't been able to play it for a year, but coming back and playing it gives me a new way to play Overwatch. It lets me just sit down and chill playing Overwatch instead of diving into competitive or even into quick play, where I'm really having to just... you really have to put the effort in. Sometimes you might want to chill, and you can maybe do that more so in PvE. So I think it's going to be huge. And I think what we will get is a massive barrage of absolutely tons and tons of animated shorts, of news, of loads of stuff will come out before the game launches to drum up that excitement to get people back into the game. My worry is, the longer you leave the game unattended, well, I don't think people forget about it. But this is the question. Can Overwatch 2 realistically have the same impact as Overwatch's launch when players are already familiar with the IP of Overwatch? Before Overwatch launched, we had no idea. It was completely new universe, completely new characters. But now everybody knows about Overwatch. If you play games, you know about Overwatch. You know who Tracer is. You probably know who Winston is. You've got a general idea what the game is. So when Overwatch 2 comes out and you see a slightly updated Winston model, a slightly updated Tracer model, you might look at that and think, well, what's the difference here? And that, to me, is the danger of this plan they seem to have of just, let's wait and let's just drop everything for Overwatch 2, whenever that will be. See, I guess to wrap this video up, the argument is this. New content for Overwatch right now will not grow the player base. There is also other considerations. We know that Overwatch 2 has a new graphics engine, or rather an updated graphics engine, but it's got a new competitive system. It's got new underlying game mechanics. Think of things like supports regenerate health when they don't take damage. Tanks are now resistant to crowd control. These kind of things you can build into new heroes. You can build heroes around those, but you can't do that with heroes that you add into Overwatch right now because they might not work for Overwatch 2. And beyond that, it's just when you change a graphics engine, you are literally changing the foundation of the game. So something you can do in the new engine might not be possible in the older, less updated engine. And that's a problem. Again, this goes back to, yes, we could talk forever about why don't they have two different teams? I mean, I think Blizzard do have two different teams, but I think what's happening is the team is so minimal on Overwatch, and you can kind of see that from the updates the game is getting. Things like balance updates. Yeah, I don't think that takes a massive development team to work that out, right? Just a couple of guys banging out some stats, going, oh yeah, let's increase this, let's decrease that. We're not seeing major content. I think that's just the issue. But I could moan about this forever and ever. I think as well, I'll end the video on this. It is a bit of a shame for me as a content creator who's been focused on this game since it began. And I was lucky enough to be, I was one of the biggest content creators in the entire world for this game, which was incredible. And so I don't really want to see the game disappear and collapse. It's not about views. It's not about money. It's not about any of that for me. It's about wanting to see this game succeed because I've had so much fun producing content and just playing the game. So what I really hope that doesn't happen is it just bleeds off The last 3 years haven't really helped. And then we've got to wait again this year. What about next year? Are we going to start getting something? Are we going to get something this year for Overwatch 2? We are waiting as well for Jeff to give us a little bit of an update for Overwatch 2, just to see what's going on. But, you know, it doesn't really matter. The game right now is kind of stagnant, and that's been true for a while, unfortunately. Let me know what you think about this video, guys, in the comments below. What I've tried to do is give a bit of a rounded approach here, because it's not as simple as just going, oh, Blizzard, make more content. Because it isn't really, like, I think the issue is when we say that, it's like we're talking to the developers, like, oh my god, it's basically like this, right? Jeff, get out there and make more content. Why are you not making heroes? What are you doing, Jeff? But I don't think it's Jeff's decision. It's the decision of the company above Jeff, above the Overwatch team, who are deciding what and when should be made. And that is all focused on the stock price, and it's focused on increasing the player base and increasing revenue. And unfortunately, content for Overwatch right now simply doesn't do that. All they're trying to do is tick the game over, keep it somewhat interesting, somewhat relevant to the current player base, so they're still semi-engaged by the time Overwatch 2 comes out. Now, this might be controversial, but you could consider Overwatch to just be an early access game. Maybe that's the case. Who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Toodaloo.